Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 27 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafty shenanigans. I'm happy to have you here with me today. It's Friday, August the 7th, 2020, and it's cleared up now. It was dark and dreary most of the day, and we had a couple little rain showers come through, but it's now quite a bit of blue sky out there, so I actually have more light now, late in the afternoon, than I had earlier today. So if you're a new viewer, welcome to my channel. I hope you're happy here, and I hope you stick around. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to see me and visit with me for another week to see what kind of knitting and what kind of other crafting shenanigans I've got up to. If you haven't yet, I'd love it if you would like the video and subscribe to my channel, ring the little notification bell. I never remember where it is, but feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have more people following me, and it'll be fantastic. So that's probably most of what's new around here. I'm sipping a cup of decaf tea right now. It's so yummy. This is, I hope you can read this. It's red rose, it's cinnamon streusel. It's a decaf tea. It's so yummy. It smells amazing. It smells like apples and cinnamon. And it's so yummy. I really like this to have for a little treat in the afternoons. I don't do much of anything with caffeine after about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, if I do much with caffeine that late in the day, I'll be up half the night. The caffeine really does have an effect on me, and it does tend to keep me up a lot longer than I want or need to be awake. So, what do we have to see this week? I have a new cast on, and it's so close to being a finished object. It's so close to being done. See? They are felted coasters. That's the pattern, felted coasters. They're by Berroco design team. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I used classic wool, hang on, what's the name of it? Patton's North America Classic Wool Worsted. This is what's left of the skein. I used 64 grams out of the 100 gram skein to make 6 coasters. And that's the tag from it. I'm hoping you can actually see that. Is it in focus? I hope it's in focus. Anyway, that's the yarn I used for it. I'm not quite sure what I'll use the last 36 grams for. I might make some more coasters, I'm not sure. But anyways, I knit up 6 of them. I've got 5 here. Number 6 is sitting underneath my teacup over beside me here. They're not, I don't think, quite 100% done. I haven't decided. When I look at it under my teacup, the fit is good. It's only a little bit, they're only a little bit larger than the bottom of my teacup. So for this large teacup, they're good. I need to try using one with my water glass. Like I can still see, I can still see some tiny little holes and openings in here, so it's not quite felted. So you can see my thumbnail peeking out here. It's not quite felted as well as I think it should be. And here's why it's not 100% finished object. I'd say it's probably 95 to 98% done. But I started knitting them on Monday. I finished knitting them on or did I Sunday to Tuesday or Monday and Tuesday. They knit up really quickly. It's only about 16, 18 rounds. You start on the outside as a hexagon and decrease every second round until you come down to the center. And then you cinch it closed and weave in the ends and ready to go on to the next one. I'll insert a picture here of what one of them looked like when it was before I put it through the wash. And what happened was I threw the 6 of them into a load of laundry on Wednesday. I think it must have been Wednesday. And our water in it's an old washing machine. The washer and dryer are both older units. We bought them used from somebody almost 4 years ago when we moved here. And so the washing machine doesn't actually have a hot setting. Warm is the hottest it's going to get. So the water doesn't get overly warm in the wash cycle. So I thought, well, I might run it through a few times and see. So I ran it through the once and I thought, well, I'll throw them into the dryer and see what happens in the dryer. So I put the dryer on, came back a while later. I went to check and see if I needed to add a bit more time to the dryer. Everything's still soaking wet. Our dryer died. So it turns out the heating coil went on it. So my husband pulled the heating coil out of the dryer, went and ordered a new part. We're waiting for that to come in. So in the meantime, when he was out running a couple errands the other day, he stopped at a laundromat for half an hour and he just took a laundry hamper with wet clothes in it, took it to the laundromat, ran it through and brought it back home. So they did felt up some in the dryer, but I think they could use another run through the wash and dry. And that because some parts of it hasn't really curled up as nicely on all the points as I would have liked. So once we get the dryer fixed, I'll run them through the wash once more and run them through the dryer again. We haven't heard from the repair shop where we ordered the new heating coil yet today, so I think it's probably safe to assume that we're not going to get it fixed until Monday or Tuesday at the earliest. So we just ordered the part. My husband will do the repair himself. So we're just waiting on the part. So until I get my dryer back in commission, we're not going to bother doing another load of laundry to take it to the laundromat to dry it. So I'm just going to have to wait until ours is fixed and then try it again. So hopefully by next week, they'll be 100% done when I podcast next Friday or Saturday. So that's my almost finished object. I really hope it's a finished object by next week, that we get the dryer fixed and it's all good. So then on to my other two works in progress. I have my scrap wrap. I added, this is just like a random mitered square, knit mitered square. Started out to be a blanket. I think if I can find the original one that I was following, I will put a link down here to the actual mitered square pattern I followed. But I'm using just all of my sock yarn scraps, all my fingering weight scraps for this. So I'm using 2.5 millimeter needles, or US 1.5 needles on this. And I managed to add another 8 squares this week. So I'm getting there slowly but surely. Now I have 66 more squares to add. I'm all caught up on the ends that are ready to be woven in. There's still some more ends that need to be woven in, but I wait until I'm a little bit farther along, and I just have a a rhythm for how I tuck in the tails. So I'm going to wait until I've added on more squares to tuck in more of the tails. So I've added these 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we've got 8 more squares added on to my mitered square scrap blanket or scrap wrap. It's just going to be a wrap to keep over my shoulders in the winter time. So at this rate, I really do think I am going to manage to have it finished by winter. I'm hoping to get a goodly bit of it done again next week. So hopefully I'll add another 8 to 15 squares in the next week. So keep plugging along with it, and I will eventually have this done. You'll probably get tired of seeing it every week because it looks very much the same from week to week, but I am making some really nice progress on it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take a picture and insert it here with the whole thing laid out so you can see how much of it's actually done, because it's so difficult to lift it up and be able to have you see the entire thing with the camera in front of me. So I might give that a try. My other work in progress lives in my Fringe Supply field bag, and that is my Tegna sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And I did manage to get a little bit of work done on it this past week, but not a huge amount. I'm using Quince & Co. Turn yarn for this in the colorway Terracotta, and I'm using 3.5 millimeter needles, or US size 3. And since last week, I've added about another inch. So from this marker here up to here is what I've added on to it. So I have managed to make some decent progress on it, and it's getting a little bit closer to when I'm going to be ready to divide for the armholes, but I still have a ways to go, because I've mentioned before that I do want to make it a bit longer. I don't want a cropped sweater, so I am going to probably add at least 4 more inches to the body of the sweater before I separate for the armholes. So it is going to be a little bit longer before I finish that. And I have another idea for a work in mind that I think I'm going to cast on maybe tonight or tomorrow. This kind of goes into like the random stuff that's going on with me right now. Tomorrow, my husband and I are going to be driving to a neighboring town. It's about an hour and 40-minute drive from here. My husband has a meeting with one of his colleagues at work, and instead of his colleague driving all the way down to our place, which is over 2.5 hour drive for him, he thought it would be easier, my husband thought it would be easier if they met somewhere about midway between both of us. So we're each going to drive about an hour and a half and meet up for lunch. So we're going to have lunch, the 3 of us are going to have lunch together, and then I'm going to bugger off and let them do their shop talk. I'm not interested in that. And they have some conversations that they have to have that I don't need to be part of. They'll be able to talk more freely just between the 2 of them. And so I was thinking I would go and do some shopping while my husband was in this meeting, but then I thought, you know what, I think I'm just going to go back out, sit in the car with my knitting and just enjoy. They'll probably be in their yak. If I know them, they'll be in their yakking for a good hour. So it'll be a nice quiet time for me just to sit happily with nothing else to do but knit. And I got a pattern in my email on Monday, and it's from Wayfaring Yarns, I think is who it's from. And every year or so they do a little thing where they publish over 4 weeks, they publish 4 little miniature sweaters. And each one of them, they're different. They incorporate different ideas and different techniques. And so when you knit the little mini sweater, it's all the same techniques that you would use in a full-size adult sweater or a full-size garment for whatever size person. And you get to practice all these techniques, but just on a little sweater that's only 3 to 5 inches tall. So that pattern came out on Monday, and I was looking at it, I thought, it looks really cute. And then I saw a few people have been posting in the Facebook group pictures of their sweaters, and I'm like, it is really cute. So I think I am going to give that a try. I'll cast it on either tonight or tomorrow. I printed out the pattern. I'll either cast it on tonight, or maybe I'll just save it and work on it tomorrow. Who am I kidding? I'll probably cast it on tonight. And I'm going to do mine in fingering weight, so it probably will be even smaller. So mine will probably only be maybe 3 inches tall. So I'm hoping to have a completed sweater to show you guys next week. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll have 2 sweaters to show you next week, because the second sweater will come out on Monday coming up. So there'll be the next sweater in the 4 pattern series will come out then. So I'll put a link down to that. It's probably not too late to sign up and join the email list and get the subsequent patterns. So I'll add that little bit on there. And in case anyone else wants to join, it'll be fun. I joined up a few years ago and knit one of the little sweaters. I never did manage to do all 4 of them. I did 1 out of the 4 patterns I got. So I have knit one of these little teeny sweaters in the past, so it was fun. They're nice quick little pattern to work on. So I thought I'll give it a try again. And again, the more I've seen patterns being posted, or not patterns being posted, finished object pictures being shown in the not the Ravelry group, in the Facebook group, they're adorable. So I think I'm going to do that one. So I think I'll take that with me. I'll get it started tonight and take that with me to work on tomorrow. And what else is new? Yesterday I went and donated blood. I do that as often as I'm allowed to. And I donate the ones that come around this area that do donations. Here it's the American Red Cross that come in. And they have a program where they have a type of donation you can do that they call it a Power Red donation. And in this donation, instead of giving a single pint of blood, most people when they donate blood, they'll go in, they take a pint of blood, put a Band-Aid on you, give you a snack, and send you on home. With the Power Red, what they do is they do a double donation. So they will hook you up to a special machine, and what they do is they draw out a pint of blood, they pull out the red blood cells, and then they return the plasma and other components of the blood. They will put that plus some saline solution, they will put that back into you. And then they start the cycle again, and they take out a second pint of blood, and it runs through this fancy machine, it extracts the components of the blood that they want, and then they return your plasma and some other parts of the blood and the saline solution. They put that back in again. So it takes about twice as long as it takes about twice as long as the regular whole blood donation, but you donate twice as much. And they're able to use that because they're taking a more concentrated component of the blood. They're able to use that to help more people from one donation. So I think after I finished the donation yesterday, I think I'm now up to 16 pints of blood that I've donated to the Red Cross, or 2 gallons of blood. So it's really, I think it's really fun and cool that I'm able to donate blood easily. I have no major problems with it. Doing the Power Red donation, I don't have any problems with it. They really like to have people that are type O blood, and there's a couple other types that they like to have, but the type O is one that they really like. My blood type is O positive, so it's a type of blood they really like. My veins, they never have problem finding a vein to use with me, and they also are really happy if it's someone who has a high hemoglobin count or a relatively high iron count in their blood. And that I've got. I've always had a high hemoglobin count. I was teasing with my husband the other day, and I said, if it ever comes to the point that I go for any medical care and they find out that I'm anemic, it's time to be afraid, because there's something seriously wrong with me. I've never been close to anemic ever in my life. My hemoglobin levels are actually for the range of hemoglobin levels for women will be usually between, I think it's 12 and 15, whatever the units are, and mine are usually right close to 15 or above 15. Last time I donated, it was 15.7. Yesterday when I donated, it was 16.4. And I've talked to my doctor about this, and it's nothing. He's not concerned with that. I have no other symptoms of any other health issues that might make him think that this is a problem. If it does continue to increase, though, he might want to look into it in a little bit more detail. But for now, as long as I'm in the upper end of the healthy range of hemoglobin levels, they're fine. My doctor is fine with that. I do eat a diet that typically is somewhat higher in iron. I love spinach. I love broccoli. I eat not a lot, but I do eat red meat, not all the time. Although that's always my treat when I donate blood. I go out for steak for supper that day. I probably don't need to increase the iron that quickly. I never eat liver, though. That's not a fan. Never have been. Ugh. No. I don't take iron supplements. That's just my body is. I hang on to and have a high level of iron. I always have. I used to have doctors would comment when they do a hemoglobin test on me when I was even when I was a teenager. They said, "Oh, you must eat lots of liver," and I'm like, "Oh, no. So you take iron supplements?" No. So it's just my natural. That's my biology. So I am fortunate that I am able to donate blood on a regular basis, and it's something I plan on continuing to do as long as I'm healthy and able to. So I donated yesterday. I'm not eligible to donate again until the very end of November, the very beginning of December. I can't remember the exact date, but normally you can donate blood once every 2 months. When you do a Power Red donation, because you donate twice as much, you can only go in half as often. So I'm only able to go in 3 times a year, but during that 3 times a year, I donate 6 pints of blood, whereas someone who donates just the single each time, they'll go in 6 times a year and donate a pint each time. So it's handy because I only go in every 4 months, so I don't go in as often, but I don't have a problem with that. I'm usually in and out of there between an hour and hour. It's usually about an hour and a half by the time you get in, checked in, visit with the nurse, go through the donation portion itself, and then stick around for some juice and a sandwich or cookies. It's about an hour and a half from start to finish. So I'm more than happy to do that every 4 months. I know it's a huge help to so many people, so I'm more than happy to do it. So, and again, I don't have any bad side effects from it. I don't even get a bruise on. I don't know if you can see the little spot on my arm. It doesn't even bruise, or at least the phlebotomist this time was really good, and there's no bruising. I feel perfectly fine afterwards. I just make sure I drink extra water the day before, and the day or 24 to 48 hours afterwards, I drink a little bit more water than I normally do. So, and that's about all I worry about. So I won't be able to go again until the beginning of December, so I'll mark down my appointment and head back in as soon as I can. So that's been my, I guess, excitement for the week is donating blood. And so as mentioned, I'm gonna hopefully get started on that little mini sweater, and hopefully I'll have a mini finished object to show you guys next week. And I don't think I have much else, so I'll let you guys go, and I'll get back to either adding more mitered squares to my blanket, or maybe I'll cast on that little mini sweater. Tune in next week and see what I decide, which one I did. So take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys next week, and you can see what kind of shenanigans I got up to in the past week. Alrighty, take care, everyone. Bye now.